Journey through deep space, trapped in a war. Two pirates fight the good fight, armed with only 6 strings and some pretty bitchin' beards. It's time for your weekly dose of pirate madness. You're now listening to the Guitar Pirates Podcast.
What's up, everyone? And welcome to episode 59 of your Guitar Pirates Podcast. And I'm your host, Josh Jones.
And I'm your co-host, Jim Steger.
Guys,
I'm about deaf.
about deaf. Jim's about deaf. Welcome to your weekly music news, Guitar Gear show, and Facial Hair Support Club show. What a wonderful show we've got, episode 59. And you can probably guess what our main event will be. A 59 Les Paul discussion.
Ooh.
Who doesn't love talking about 59 Les Pauls?
It only costs about... That's only like half of our show throughout the whole year.
It's only been half our show, but it's episode 59. Why not? Why not, right?
Have to.
We have to. So, guys, if you're new here, thank you for showing up. This is a new era of the Guitar Pirates Podcast. As you can tell, we are filming for the first time ever, besides our Zoom stuff. We do that, but this is the first time we are filming. I believe we are filming in high definition. We have the lights on. We are running hot. The pedal is to the floor. Guys, first segment, if you're new here, is Dirty Laundry. Jumping into last week's follow-ups here. What do you got for follow-up, Jim? Anything?
I did try to do some more research on the that Epiphone.
Yeah.
And I think... I'm not sure. The one thing I forgot to look at is if the Prophecy has locking tuners.
Oh.
So the Jerry Cantrell comes with locking tuners. So...
We've been in this debate about why the Prophecy Jerry Cantrell guitar is a little more. Is it just inflation? Or is there a little gem in it?
His name.
That's...
The case does have his name on it, because Ola did an unboxing of it.
The case, guys, certain cases these days are money.
And it says Jerry Cantrell on the case.
So, and you get certain case candy, you might get limited edition things like an autographed COA.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
But he got the white one, is what Ola unboxed. Is the one we were talking about the most, so...
They both look really good.
Oh, yeah.
They both look... If you want that was it mid-90s, I think that his custom is, that red one? If you want like an old-school custom vibe in a Les Paul, that you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
That little maroon, like wine red one looks good, too.
Does look good. The white one, that was...
The white one is tits on a pig, for sure.
It's nice. Super-duper nice.
But other than that, we will be doing a little bit more Beard Hall of Fame highlighting this episode as well. As I want to congratulate all of our class of 2021 and 2022 Beard Hall of Famers. We'll get into that a little bit later. But other than that, I believe that's going to be Dirty Laundry for today. Fold it up high and tight. We'll run into our next segment here, guys. This Day in Music. May 17th, y'all. 1941, happy birthday, Malcolm Hale. From the 1960 Sunshine pop band, Spanky and Our Gang.
Ooh, alright. They're up there.
Ooh.
We can put that in the top 5.
Yeah. We've had weird band names, guys, if you're new to this. And if you go back on our show, you can find us on wherever podcasts are found. The weirdest band name so far we've found is...
I always forget.
It's called... It was a British name called Steam Packet.
I always know Steam, then I'm like, what is this?
Steam Packet.
Steam Packet. That's our number one.
It's a mind blowing. But anyway, guys, happy birthday, Taj Mahal. Happy birthday, Bill Bruford. Happy birthday, George Johnson, from American Funk Motown R&B band Brothers Johnson. Happy birthday, Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails lead singer.
And Hall of Fame alum.
Happy birthday, Josh Homme. You know, he had that little bit of a bad rap for a while for attacking photographers and stuff.
And his wife.
That's
stuff.
not cool.
No.
But I respect what he does.
There's a place where the musician ends and the person begins, and I don't like to get past the musician sometimes.
Yeah. That's not dogging him.
No.
But I mean, some of that stuff definitely wasn't cool, but I respect what he does, and he's a hell of a player, and them Crooked Vulture stuff is really cool too.
Well,
so.
and then No One Knows from Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah.
That song is killer.
It is.
I can't.
It is.
I gotta look past some things.
But here we go. This day in music, May 17th, 1963, Monterey Festival. The first Monterey Folk Festival took place over 3 days in Monterey, California. Featured Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, Peter, Paul, and Mary. The 67 Monterey Rock Festival is remembered for the first major American appearances by Jimi Hendrix and The Who, as well as the first major public performances of Janis Joplin. It was also the first major performance by Otis Redding in front of a predominantly white audience, breaking barriers. 67, Glen Campbell, working at the Capitol Records recording studio in Hollywood. Glen Campbell recorded Gentle on My Mind, a song written by John Hartford and arranged by Leon Russell. The song went on to win 4 Grammy Awards the following year and became the theme to the television variety show The Glen Campbell Good Time Hour between 69 and 72.
He was a beast.
Man, that beast. And a lot of people would say great guitar player, and of course, but a hell of a Fender 6-string bass player and a hell of a baritone player.
Yeah.
You ever hear him play a baritone guitar? Wow. He will make your hair stand up.
Yeah. Even Eddie, we went over this too. Eddie Van Halen asked for guitar lessons from said Glen Campbell. So that tells you anything.
And GNR's been playing it for a while, but I heard GNR do that Lineman of the County song when I watched them live. So I mean, Glen Campbell's got a wide spread.
And the fact that he was in Branson and never got to see him.
Hell of a player. 69 album sales. It was reported for the first time ever that album sales had overtaken single sales in the UK, with 49,184,000 albums were produced during 68 compared to the 49,161,000 singles. Oh, wow. Okay. 75, Elton John was awarded a platinum record for sales of 1 million copies of the LP Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. It was the first album ever to be certified platinum on the day of its release. Excuse me.
Damn.
I know Garth Brooks can do some stuff, but damn.
That's
the day of it, you drop it, like, platinum. Wow.
You're already writing checks that day. You're
already writing checks. You're already buying houses. 75, Led Zeppelin played the first of 5 sold-out nights to 17,000 fans at Earl's Court Arena, London, England. The set list included rock and roll. The song remains the same. The Rain Song, Kashmir, No Quarter, Going to California, Dazed and Confused, Stairway to Heaven, Whole Lotta Love, and Black Dog. Tickets cost $1.70 to $4.25, and that's $4.25. Ooh, wow.
Bring that crap back.
Bring that back. Wow.
That doesn't even cover tax. No.
Yeah. 87, a fire destroyed Tom Petty's house in Los Angeles. The cost was an estimated $800,000. 90, Nirvana played the last date at a North American tour on the Zoo in Boise, Idaho. This was Chad Channing's final gig with the band. Drummer Dave Grohl replaced him in September of this year after his band Scream had split up. Got Scream's cousin Hollow over there. I'm sorry. 96, Johnny Guitar Watson dies of a heart attack while on tour in Yokohama, Japan. He collapsed mid-guitar solo. His last words were, "Ain't that a bitch?" Damn. Johnny Guitar Watson, I'm in debt to you. Ain't that a bitch? Wow.
It's like that could have happened to Faulkner.
Did been to anybody.
Yeah. Well, basically did happen to Faulkner. He just kept going. That's crazy.
That's just nuts, dude. Wow. Donna Summer, 1970s pop singer known as the Queen of Disco, dies of lung cancer. Guys, sometimes this happens in this day in music where the deaths start rolling.
Yeah.
This one's cool. We kind of talk about this one a little bit. 2013, Daft Punk, French electronic duo Daft Punk released their fourth album, Random Access Memories. Went on to debut at number 1 in both the US and UK, and went on to win 5 Grammys, including Album of the Year. That's got a lot of Nile Rodgers on that bad boy. So it's the funk guitar like you want. You know, if you want that chinky funk guitar, it's all right there.
Yeah.
We love some Nile Rodgers on this channel. Guys, that's it.
Nobody went to jail.
Nobody went to jail. We usually look for people who go to jail. Let's go just really fast for May 16th. We're going to go a day prior and see if we can't find anybody who has...
We gotta put somebody in jail. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
If it's nobody, if it's not Jim Morrison or anybody from Rolling Stones, we don't want to touch it.
I'm looking, but
I think it's the Rolling Stones. A lot of the Beatles too. There we go.
May 16th, 1984, Ozzy Osbourne was arrested in Memphis, Tennessee for staggering drunk down Beale Street. Osbourne was released from Memphis jail 5 hours later after drying out, and was not required to return for a court appearance. He continued on with a tour in support of 83's Bark the Moon.
There we go.
There we go. It did only take one day, guys, and you'll find that arrest.
Yeah. And
we're
fun
like
fact,
detectives.
Fun fact, I pissed on the Mid-South Coliseum waiting in line for a Disturbed concert back in 2002. Had I known how illegal that was, that's a national treasure. It's not as much as like Ozzy Osbourne pissing on the Alamo, but it's up there because that's the house that Elvis built, and then the house that Jerry the King Lawler kept alive, and I pissed right on the side of it, right in the middle of broad daylight.
Oh, that's This Day in Music. That's usually one of our first segments of the show. If you're new here, thank you for coming along. We'll pay a little bit of bills right now, though. Guys, this show and all of our shows here at Guitar Pirates Podcast is sponsored by Analog Pedals. Straight out of Kentucky, man. Our boy Jeff Bolin builds awesome guitar effects pedals for the Kentucky guitar superstars. Greg Martin, Chris Robertson, Boone Froggatt. If you guys want it, he's got it. There's all sorts of limited edition stuff. If you want custom stuff, hit him up on Instagram at Analog Pedals. Not to be confused with Analog Man, y'all. Analog Pedals, Jeff Bolin, straight out of Kentucky. This man get you what you need. Everything you need and nothing you don't. He's the man with the plan. Hit him up. We love Jeff. Rumor has it sometime down the line, Pirates might be working on a little something with Mr. Jeff.
I thought so.
But I know he's a lot busy. We've been talking. He just hit me up and he said, man, as soon as I get the go from Brian Robertson, I'm making more fuzzes.
And we need that OTP.
So, if that tells you where he's at in his spot, he's behind too. So,
well, that's what happens when you buy a beautiful beautiful Explorer.
That's convert it from 80 shred to normalcy. That's what happens. That's what happens.
Sometimes.
Jeff Bolin, you can guys check it out on our old podcast feed. You can check out our wonderful interview. Sit down with Mr. Jeff Bolin. He is an awesome guy. First class legend. Give it up again for Mr. Jeff. But y'all, this is our next, moving right along to the next segment. Our wonderful metal, the most metal part of our show. Jim's Metal Minute. Jim's Metal Minute!
And welcome to Jim's Metal Minute. I've been going through the motions. I thought mid-May. Let's go back to medieval. This one is a quick one, but
exciting.
It's not the worst one yet. I'm saving that for next week because the one that I was gonna pick. But this one is called Poina Kolai. So it's just not so much what happens, it's what they do with what happens that it just has me intrigued on this one. So today, getting the sack means you're expecting your P45, which means getting fired, if you didn't know what P45 is. But 2,000 years ago, in ancient Rome, talk of getting the sack might have meant the grisly capital punishment, poina kolel, penalty of the sack. And it's not what you're thinking of, people. Get your heads out of the gutter, please. Keep it we keep it classy.
We keep
on
it
the
classy
Guitar
here.
Podcast.
We keep it classy here, y'all.
The punishment consisted of accused individuals being flogged or beaten before being sewn into a large sack and thrown into a river or sea. But they would not be alone in the sack. With them might be a snake, a chicken, an ape, or a dog.
An ape? What the hell?
So, let's think about this for a minute. You're beaten, sewn into a sack, but you have an animal sewn in with you.
Hopefully it's a nice doggy.
The dog part, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know.
But an ape? Like, an ape will rip your face off.
Yes, an ape would eat you alive.
And you're sewn in a sack with it. So, like, what the hell is going on
only
here?
would hope is the ape would freak out enough to rip the sack.
And it's like the chicken. Well, the ape could. Apes are so
you know what I
strong.
mean?
Yeah.
The big ape freaking out and like, oh my god.
But you're already beaten.
It's brutal. You're done.
That's one brutal.
You're done.
You're done.
You're done.
But a snake in there with me, I'd rip the damn sack.
My butthole would rip the sack.
This one is, and it's like as bad as this one is. This is the least of the medieval ones I've had.
This is the sprinkles on the ice cream.
It's like I gotta ease it in because the one next week just makes my skin
Jim's
crawl.
Metal Minute went from really, we were going with guitar, but he was going with guitar players, but it used to be brutality.
Well,
we're
mid-May,
and we're
medieval.
going back to the brutality, and I love it.
Well, the next week, that one is just, when I say makes my skin crawl, the pun is intended. And
I love it.
It's rough. But I thought, while we're here, I got to do this. So we'd had the year in review. I know that the Metal Minute has not been a year in review, but I finally remembered the one that I would pick as the worst.
Okay.
And that was the Death by Molten Metal.
Oh yeah.
And I just wanted to get a quick.
I remember this.
A quick little synopsis of this because this
the
is
Reader's Digest version.
Rough.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So anyway, if you were defined to any of these 36 crimes as punishable as death, so there's 36 crimes. We're not going to go into those. They're probably minuscule stuff or like adultery and stuff like this. But if you were found guilty, you would be strangled with a rope by two witnesses inaugural to the case. It was a soft rope, and it was considered humane not to cause additional suffering. So that was the thing that we would always laugh about. They're going to kill you, but they care. You know what I mean? They care. I just can't believe that. It was... and when the strangulation caused the condemned to gasp for air, molten lead was poured down his throat. So we're gonna put this soft rope around you. We don't want to. That's rough, man. We don't want to hurt your neck. So we're just gonna pour molten lava lead down your damn throat.
I love it, dude.
Oh,
that's so brutal.
That one right there is the most brutal. I mean, there's other stuff that is like, as far as like mangling and stabbing and stuff.
There's been some crazy stuff he's done, and I've just been like,
thinking of this one right here just makes me like, what's better for Metal Minute? But yeah, that is as far as like a year in review. That one right there takes the cake. So.
I love it, dude. If you guys like the brutality, hit us up. Instagram and Facebook, Guitar Pirates Podcast. Let us know what you guys like.
Nothing new.
And what you guys like and what you guys want us to do.
Well, I may do like an Ed game or like as far as like nothing with children.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing with children. But like we may do a little. There could be some serial killers we do, but not. I refuse to do anything that kills children. It's against anything that I'm about, so we will not do that.
No, but that's kind of where we'll leave that one there. Jim's Metal Minute, guys. Tune in next week for the most brutal one he's got yet. Shout out to the Death by Metal. Gosh, that was one of the best ones of the year. Go back to wherever you find your podcast and check out the Guitar Pirates Podcast. We're here for you, babes. But let's roll in to some news, and boy, I've got a whole bunch of news. We all know that, maybe in the guitar world, especially if you follow pro football, Jim Irsay.
Yep.
Has a massive guitar collection. Owns all sorts of crazy guitars.
And that's the owner of the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know.
Yep. Makes an offer on Kurt Cobain's Fender Mustang. Exceeds all price predictions. Guitar was used in Smells Like Teen Spirit music video. The Cobain estate has put out the Nirvana frontman's iconic blue 69 Fender Mustang for auction. The first offer has now been placed as reported by Guitar.com, and it comes from the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, businessman Jim Irsay, who bid $2 million for the instrument.
Didn't he buy the acoustic as well?
He's got it probably. If he hasn't, he's probably thought about it. Quote, "This guitar's big, and it relates to so much stigma. When you have a mental illness, people die. These are fatal diseases: bipolar, schizophrenia, postpartum depression, and alcoholic addictions. With fatal diseases, people die, and they don't choose to die. Those of us who are alive are not stronger or better. We didn't get our act together more. We didn't have more character. That's where it's so false." Quote really just sounds weird. But anyway, Jim Irsay bid $2 million for this thing. Do you think it's worth $2 million?
It's worth whatever somebody's going to pay for it.
It was predicted to sell for $800,000.
Hey, think about all the other auctions that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the one that still drives me crazy is how you're going to have Mr. Les Paul's Les Paul 1 quoted at $150,000.
Yeah.
We called that. That was that was a 7-figure guitar, which it went for. But as far as that one, I thought $1 million, but
It's any guitar these days over $1 million is not going to surprise me, just because of inflation.
where's the proceeds go?
I have no clue.
Like
It
that's
didn't say anything like that. Probably the Cobain estate.
I would imagine. So Francis Bean, if it goes to Francis Bean,
I'd imagine it's probably.
I'm okay with that.
You would hope.
Yeah, exactly.
You would hope.
Yeah.
Here we go. Moving down the line, after 20 years in the wilderness, Larry McCray returns in a style with Blues Without You. Thanks to a restart and a new album, his future looks brighter than ever. Larry McCray is an Arkansas alum.
Yeah, boy.
He's an Arkansas bluesman. Blues Without You is the first record of original material since 2007. McCray burst onto the scene as a major new voice in blues guitar way back in '91. It was with the release of his debut album Ambition, followed 2 years later by Delta Hurricane. It looked like he was destined for a sort of mainstream crossover appeal like Stevie Ray and Robert Cray, but his blues train started to derail. 2001, without a record deal, McCray was releasing his music on his own label. He resigned himself to the possibility that his major label days were behind him. When Joe Bonamassa called to ask if he'd record for the Bonamassa label, keeping the blues alive. The result is Blues Without You, not only McCray's career best record, but also one of the strongest blues guitar album released for many years. Indeed, it is hard to imagine there will be a better blues record released in 2022. That is some strong words from Guitar Player.
Right.
This is worthy of checking out, y'all. Larry McCray. Very, very, very interesting. He's got a song called Arkansas on YouTube.
Yeah, boy. Arkansas, baby.
He's an Arkansas boy. He's born on the Arkansas. I think he's from Magnolia, which is on the Louisiana-Arkansas line.
Still.
Hence the album titled Delta Hurricane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Probably got a lot of Louisiana in him, if you know what I'm saying.
They're a whole different type of South down there in that area. The Queens and the oh yeah, all of them are a whole. They might as well just be from Louisiana.
This could fall under our gear acquisition syndrome, but it's not, because gas might be a little bit of a tie-in this week. But Reverb found Paul Gilbert's 1987 hot pink Ice Stroyer. You heard it right, folks. Ice Stroyer. An Iceman combined with a destroyer. Isn't that right?
Gotta be.
Paul Gilbert, formerly one of the biggest heads of hair in all of hair metal, was once the proud owner of a hot pink Ibanez Ice Stroyer. An Ice Stroyer, you might be thinking, what in the hell? In '87, Gilbert was in Racer X looking for a flashy guitar to match his looks. I wanted Def Leppard hair so bad that I got some. I grew some, but that's the first step. After you have Def Leppard hair, you need a Def Leppard guitar, he said in a previous video. He commissioned a pink Destroyer from Ibanez, thinking that it would fit the bill. Instead, assuming that he wanted access to the highest reaches of the neck, Ibanez only built him one top half of a Destroyer. For the bottom half, the builders cut the lower horn away far back from the neck into the recognizable shape of its Iceman guitars. Half Iceman, half Destroyer. It would then become known as the Ice Stroyer. It's kind of rad.
I mean, yeah.
Yo, I probably hard to tell, but if you guys can see it and know what's up, check it out. Ice Stroyer. It's got a single coil in the neck. No whammy, no nothing.
And their Destroyer's just an Explorer.
Yeah, just their version of an Explorer. It looks cool.
I mean, yeah.
Bolt on neck, string through body.
See, it's got that.
It's got like a recessed neck heel area.
I was about to see how that back end's cut out. It's cut out like the Schecter, that Schecter that I wanted. So I wonder if that's where they got that design from. Not from that guitar exactly, but.
In 2020, Paul sold the guitar himself on Reverb to help raise money for Juan Alderte, his friend and former Racer X bandmate, as Juan was recovering from a bike accident. The guitar is now popped back up for sale by Nashville's Rumble Seat Music, a reverb shop that always has incredible gear available. And for a guitar with such looks and nice backstory, it's the find of the week.
75 grand?
No. $18,500.
Wow.
Not bad. Like I would think, I guess.
I mean.
Oh, and it looks like it has sold. So there you go.
I would imagine 18 grand for something like that.
Yeah.
There's one of one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially an Explorer lover.
Now it's gonna it's gonna be at Christie's.
That
it's
or Paul Gilbert will release another one. He'll be like,
yeah.
I need to do that now.
Or Paul Gilbert's like, for 18 grand, like, come on.
Kind of a cool guitar. Looking down the line though, here's one that we were kind of thinking, you know, always want this to happen in everyday life. Rare guitar where small fortune unearthed in UK man's closet. UK guitar dealer Mike Long tells Guitar Player magazine a woman recently contacted him to assess a guitar that has been squirreled away in her father's closet. The instrument was still in its case and had not been played since the 70s. To everyone's surprise, the guitar was a 1960 Les Paul Standard. It's in the fabled year that 58, 59, 60, those 3 years that are like the ones. Isn't that what everybody dreams about?
For me, it's a 59. But a 60 would work.
A 60'd be just
I take a 70. I'll take a 75. I don't give a damn. Anything pre-80, I mean anything. Okay, I don't care. There's no limit.
To everyone's surprise, the guitar was it was one of 1,500 ever made and one of the most collectible electric guitars in the world. They knew little about the guitar except that it had been acquired decades earlier for a bargain sum of £50 with a free case. The woman who contacted Long said she was doing so for insurance purposes. Her father was moving and she'd been given the guitar for safekeeping. She understood that Gibson Les Paul is generally sold for a few £1,000s, but she was not prepared for Long's appraisal. While the guitar had some modifications over the year and was among the filthiest Long had ever seen, it is worth easily 6 figures. I've got some good news and bad news, he says. Bad news is it's totally unplayable and in terrible condition. The good news is that once it's been refurbished, it'll be worth about $215,000. The family, including the guitar's owner, was stunned. You could hear a pin drop, Long recalled. She couldn't quite believe it. Her dad couldn't quite believe it either. They literally had no idea what they had. Long called the guitar a proper once-in-a-lifetime find. Here's where it comes full circle, y'all. We probably heard this in the deal. It now has a proud new owner. Can you guess?
Bonamassa.
Exactly. Who plans to put the guitar through its paces on the road once it's back in working order. Watch Long show off the guitar and the player above. So basically you can head over to iHeart.com and you can find this article. Or you can go on Instagram and look at ATB Guitars. There's an Instagram post there. It's literally just a natural burst Les Paul. I think the pickups, I mean,
it looks rad.
It looks
like
gnarly as hell, and I hope that it gets refurbished and gets back on the road. Because Bonamassa put those things through its paces.
Me personally, if I found it, I would just get the innards good, and I'd play it as gnarly as it looks.
I would get it nice and straight and the frets done right.
Well, yeah, but as far as like that body,
I wouldn't do anything to
gnarly.
it. Yeah,
Gnarly.
It's so cool. Check it out. But
how easy was that to pick Bonamassa? He gets everything.
He gets everything. He gets everything.
His house there in Vegas is unreal.
Here we go. Slipknot are now playable characters in a video game. Slipknot are wasting no time diving into the Knotverse, partnering with Titan Forge Games to bring The Nine as playable characters within the popular Smite multiplayer online battle game. As you can see from the trailer on Loudwire.com, all 9 of Slipknot musicians are prepared to do battle, with each mostly aligned with the instrument of their choosing, which has now become a weapon. And seriously, the axe-wielding skills of Jim Mick Thompson and Alessandro Venturella look absolutely scary. Not to mention the thunder packed in the drums of the already powerful Clown, Jay Weinberg and Michael Paff. Get a closer look in the trailer below on Loudwire.com. It looks pretty crazy. I mean, there's a little bit of the artwork. You seen anything about that? Or did I steal that from you?
No, that must have been, because I was on Livewire. It must have been below my...
No, it was just something I seen the other day on kind of passed by, and I was like, wow.
So that's going to go along the lines with the Iron Maiden game, and I mean, you would have to pick Mick Thompson because he's...
Or Jim Root.
Well, I mean, as far as like aesthetically, like seeing them in person, Mick
Thompson
will eat you.
Mick Thompson will eat you.
He's a big old fella. I mean, Jim Root's a big old boy, but he's even kill and he's really happy. But Mick Thompson, he will eat your face. But he's a good guy too.
We'll be kind of quick on this one.
Yeah, I see that.
I didn't know you have this one too.
No, but
okay.
I know all about that.
Naomi Judd's cause of death was a self-inflicted firearm wound. Daughter Ashley reveals a new interview. You can find the interview anywhere. Variety.com is where I got this one.
The day before.
Wow.
The day before getting inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame.
It's like...
The day before.
Ugh. Check on your friends, y'all. That's all I gotta say. Because anybody could be fighting anything, man. Check on your friends. Because nobody should have to deal with that.
But we should also look at the positive side. What Naomi Judd did through the 80s with her, she knew that Winona was the lead.
Yeah, oh yeah.
She knew. And she didn't let her ego get to her, and she knew that she was Harmony's.
Mm-hmm.
And without Naomi, I mean, Winona did great solo, but
yeah. They were awesome together, though.
Awesome.
That's when you have that synergy, and it's just sad.
It is.
It's just a sad thing.
I hate to see it, especially with somebody so accomplished and, you know.
Oh. And she was, what, 76? I believe?
Yes, I think so.
I mean, that doesn't lessen the blow of it, but it's like, man, come on.
Guys, let's do something funny here. Loudersound.com. Check out this full interview with Cheap Trick's Rick Nielsen. Quote, "I'm not as pretty as Lemmy or Sting." With Cheap Trick reaching towards a half-century band guitarist for songwriter Rick Nielsen toasts the past, present, and future in his own inimitable style. You can check out the interview on loudersound.com. I just thought that the quote was funny.
Well,
"I'm not as pretty as Lemmy or Sting."
I mean, he is our spirit animal.
He is. He's our guitar spirit animal. That is the OG guitar pirate, and his collection
is unreal.
Is the coolest. Just, oh my lord, the
His
warehouse.
And his cream pick, those zebra creams.
Yeah, the double creams. He's just, ugh.
Which
the Explorers, the lespaul,
rare.
Everything. He's got every guitar. If you think, it's just insane.
And he's my spirit animal because he, just like I, like old strings.
Yeah.
Like the feel of the old strings. I don't like the feel of brand new strings. I hate them.
Yep.
I wish they could buy pre-worked strings, which he may be able to.
Here we go. This one's kind of, we'll just talk a little bit about this one. I just thought it was funny. Well, Madonna launches a new NFT of her vajayjay, giving birth to insects, butterflies, and trees.
And STDs. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to 2022, folks. Oh. Okay.
There's a lot of vaginas I'd buy. I don't think I'd buy this one.
I don't think I'd buy that one, but check it out. Madonna's got an NFT about her vajayjay.
I mean, I'd have to take a look at it.
Here we go.
We'll do that in private.
Blabbermouth.net, Iron Maiden, second official coloring book, The Singles, coming in June. So if you're an adult colorer, check out the Iron Maiden Singles book.
Who doesn't like a good coloring book?
Who doesn't like a good color every once in a while?
Sometimes put your damn phone down when you're taking a crap and color, man.
Includes artwork from the legendary singles such as The Trooper, Run to the Hills, Aces High, and plus more recent releases such as Empire of the Clouds and The Writings on the Wall. So that's pretty cool. Basically, it's all their singles in black and white, and you can color them.
I mean,
if you're that kind of person, and you can do it, because I can't do it. I could try, but it wouldn't look very good.
who's the first person you're going to color? Eddie.
Eddie. Yeah.
I'm going to make Eddie purple today.
Purple Eddie.
I'm going to make a purple Eddie.
Purple Eddie. Here's one. It's a little, you know.
This right here is getting crazy.
Yeah, gosh. Taylor Hawkins wanted to scale back Foo Fighters' intense touring schedule before his death, friends claim. Months leading up to his death, Foo Fighter drummer Taylor Hawkins reportedly felt hesitant about returning to the road after easing of COVID-19 restrictions. He wasn't sure he'd be able to remain a full-time member of the band if they continued to tour at the same pace. Claims were made by a number of people, including several of the drummer's best friends who were interviewed by Rolling Stone about his career, legacy, and outlook near the end of his life. Pearl Jam and Soundgarden drummer Matt Cameron, a close friend of Hawkins for decades, told Rolling Stone, "Taylor had a heart-to-heart with Dave Grohl, and yeah, he told me that he couldn't fucking do it anymore." Those were his words. So I guess they did come to some understanding, but it just seems like the touring schedule got even crazier after that. A rep for Foo Fighters denied that Hawkins ever raised these issues, saying no, there was never a heart-to-heart or any sort of meeting on this topic. Honestly, I think he was just so tired. Hawkins' longtime friend and former boss singer Sash Jordan said, "Tired of the whole game." And I'm going to leave it there.
But there is Chad Smith said all their stuff was taken out of context. So I think they did a follow-up to that article, and apparently, there's no, I think it got blown out of proportion as far as what they said and how it was projected.
Yeah.
From what I read. So,
well, it says, since we went into that, in addition to multiple friends of Rolling Stones, Hawkins lost consciousness on a board plane in Chicago last December. News reports from the time described him anonymously as a member of Foo Fighters. He just said he was exhausted and collapsed, and they had to pump him full of IVs and stuff. His friend, drummer Jad Smith, he said he was dehydrated and all kinds of stuff. When asked if Foo Fighters had to comment on the accounts that Taylor had lost consciousness on the plane, a rep had said, "This is not true." After the incident, Smith said Hawkins told him, "I can't do it like this anymore." Wow.
Which is crazy because they just started touring. It's not like they were touring.
Well, he was, like I said, he's hesitant to ease back into it after COVID-19 and things like that. Like,
Yeah.
there's just a lot there.
I mean,
There's a lot to this onion that we don't know.
He could have left.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave would have understood if it wasn't healthy for him.
Yeah, he
It's
was
crazy.
obviously doing whatever he was doing to keep himself straight. Or at least I say straight, but keep himself there.
Crazy.
It's nuts, yo. Rest in peace, Taylor. But talking about a little bit, I don't know, what do we say here? Probably the craziest thing I've ever seen, ever. And this is probably going to be one of the main events in news. You've probably seen this on 60 Cycle Hum. Shout out to Ryan Burke. There's an interview with him on episode 6 if you want to check that out wherever you find your podcasts up there on the YouTube land. Jon Mayer signs fans' Klon Centaur pedal. And he does this on stage and dials in his settings. Are you freaking kidding me?
Who's this?
Is this the most valuable Klon ever now?
Because Jon Mayer touched it? Probably.
No, he signed it and put his settings on it.
Well, yeah, I know. It's just...
Like he put his freaking settings on it. It
I mean, aesthetically, that shouldn't raise the value. The autograph, yes.
somebody would be pay whatever.
But it's
This
like-
guy holds on to this. He can pay for college.
But it's like
Might be able to buy a house.
you can't change those settings, and if you were, like, who's really gonna know? But still, like,
No, I mean, the fact that he does it on stage.
is it an original?
Yeah,
Centaur?
it's a Klon Centaur.
So that's between $1,500 all the way to $20,000, depending on what.
Who wants
year
to
it is.
pay for it?
Yeah.
If you want to pay, you know what I mean? Wow. That's the question out there, y'all. Hit us up on the Guitar Birds Podcast Facebook and Instagram. Is this the most valuable Klon pedal ever?
Isn't that gold one was the most expensive? It was like
yeah, it
20
was
grand?
like the first one, that was like the one that Josh from JHS has.
Yeah, it's like 20 north of 20,000.
It was a lot of money. That's all I know.
Wow.
But guys, that's all I've got for news. Jim, what do you got?
Start here. One of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. Alex Lifeson on auctioning off his prize guitars, the end of Rush, and his new band,
Wow. Okay.
which is rough. Thinking about it.
Yeah, it is.
Legend, Alex Lifeson. To all you naysayers that say he's not a good guitar player, I want you to look at your fist and then punch yourself.
Look at your fist and then look at it really closely.
This dude is the catalyst to Rush. You could say Geddy Lee, yes. Geddy Lee held down a lot, but Alex Lifeson was the most essential part of this band. Just an amazing dude. I just can't believe that he did this. That I don't know if he had to sell them, for what reason.
Maybe he just needed to do it for a change of vibe.
Yeah.
I think as guitar players, we've all been there before, right?
Right.
There's that certain guitar, you're just like, man, that's kind of vibey for this, and I think I need a change of pace.
And this article
Does happen.
is very long. So if you want to read up on most of this, it'll go through in his new album, all this stuff. That's through guitar.com. I mean, we can go through a little bit, but this thing is a very
It's
very,
a long piece.
very long piece.
So, but still, he's going through changes like that. It's a kind of inevitable.
Yes.
But it's also it's like a divorce after a long time. You gotta move on somehow.
Right.
I would hate to see him just hang it up, especially if he's still got the skills and he's got ideas.
But this is the one that I mean, we can go through all the other stuff. For this one, I liked. As one of the most famous prog rock bands ever, there are many fans that defy Rush. Have you ever been starstruck? And who do you think he was starstruck by? Robert Plant. Him and Geddy Lee were like,
figures. Yeah, oh yeah.
But yeah, check out this article if you want to read more about Alex Lifeson, his new album, a little bit into his guitars. It's one of those that are just way too long to synopsis into a little piece because it just jumps everywhere. I don't know if you all seen this one. Motley Crue's Vince Neil stars in commercial for short-term loan provider Dollar Loan Center. It is horrific. It is really horrific. I mean, not the poor guy, but y'all need to check this thing out. I mean, I've never heard of Dollar Loan Center.
I really hope that Vince Neil can just get it together. Whatever he's got to do.
Like, he needs to have a doctor and nutritionist on this stadium tour.
Something.
He has to.
I don't know what he can do. What can he do? If you guys have any ideas, hit us up on the socials. What can Vince Neil do to turn this ship around?
Retire. Oh, no. There's nothing wrong with it. He's made a living. He's doing great. I mean, he needs to get into the record. Just produce records. It's like, sometimes actors, they leave in front of the camera and they go behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But y'all need to check this out. This is on Loudwire. It's very cringy. So you need to check out Vince Neil's commercial for short-term loan provider, Dollar Loan Center. And this is not
brought to you by Dollar Loan Center.
Yeah, we are not brought. We are not officiated with this. But this one right here kind of got me a little kind of a talking point here. Electro-Harmonix Nano Pulsar review. Is this the best value stereo tremolo pedal ever?
Oof. Probably. It's Electro-Harmonix. I bet it's going to give it a run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to give it a run.
It's got to. The Circle of Life, as Elton John's song sang, moves us all. And while he and Tim Rice might have been referring to the cynical or select, man, what are they? Okay, we are horrible at some words. Just saying. We need somebody that is like a walking thesaurus to read some of this stuff. CYCLICAL, cyclical,
Silical,
something, cyclical. We'll go with that. Balance of the Animal World and the Lion King classic at Electro-Harmonix. The natural order of things is the same. A pedal is released, and then over the years is refined and shrunk until eventually it reaches its final form as a board-friendly nano-sized stomper. At first, I didn't know where they were going with the Lion King classic.
Yeah, that's kind of
that
an
was
odd
kind of
mix-in.
a odd switch up there.
Yeah.
Let's get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. It's got an addition to the volume control. Might seem like a game changer for a modulation pedal, but in practice, the ability to control the overall output and match it with the rest of your chain instantly feels essential, especially when you get into an extreme wig out territory. Otherwise, the fundamental core of the Pulsar remains unchanged.
What side is this off of?
This is on guitar.com, of course.
Whoever wrote this is very enthusiastic.
Yes.
They're very descriptive.
And it looks like it's a mini Pulsar.
Descriptive in kind of a not so great way.
You should not have how you started that, I seen Elton John. I was like, oh, cool. We'll read this Elton John thing. Because whenever I was looking at it earlier, I was just kind of skimming through. Where are you going to... How are you going to... That didn't piece together very well. But, yes, this is on guitar.com. So the features, so the price is E89, so it's 89 euros, so probably what, 110,
like
115 bucks.
Yeah.
It's variable shaped stereo tremolo pedal assembled in the USA.
Is it the Nano Pulsar?
It is the Nano Pulsar, so it's
$99 on Sweetwater, and it's in stock right now.
So it's got the controls are volume, depth, shape, rate, triangle, square, mode switch. Features mono stereo outputs, buffered bypass, powered by 9-volt battery or standard power supply, 20 milliamps. The dimensions are 114 by 70 by 53 millimeters. So,
just normal Nano stomp box, y'all. Check it out. It's 99 bucks.
But is it the best?
Is it the best for that
Ever.
price? I don't know. We'll have to find out.
We will definitely have to find out.
We'll have to look into that more.
Because it's like, especially for the price.
Yeah.
For $100.
For sure.
But
what else you got cooking over there for news?
You took a couple of mine, so
I figured that'd happen.
we're golden ponies.
It usually does happen sometimes here on the old, most of the time here on the old Guitar Pirates podcast.
Vince I just can't get over it.
But y'all, that's news. We had a hell of a rundown of news. As you can tell, that news is usually going to be our mid-show segment where we have a massive rundown. Thank you for tuning in for episode 59. We're going to jump in to a little bit of bill paying. Another show sponsor here, y'all. Check it out. greenbeardgrooming.com, guys. Head on over, pick up their boar bristle brush, large, extra large Sequoia beard rakes, mustache balms, beard oils. You name it, he's got it. He plants trees in the name of your beard. Ryan Trump. Guitar Pirates Podcast Beard Hall of Fame. Class of 2021 and 2022. Give it up, Ryan. You are the man. Thank you, Greenbeard Grooming, for sponsoring the show. Their boar bristle brush, say that 20 times fast, is legendary. Your beard will be flying. The strays will be tamed, and your beard will be shapely and just beautiful. Jim knows all about that boar bristle brush, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Keep it in my car.
Kids, it is essential for the bearded gentleman. Guys, head on over to greenbeardgrooming.com and pick up your boar bristle brush today and get a tree planted in the National Forest in your name. The man is doing God's work. He is a legend in the beard community. Ryan Trump, we love you, buddy. But y'all, that's a little bit of the ad read for Greenbeard Grooming. Let's jump into some gas. I don't have much gas, but I've got enough here.
I'm building some gas. I got a gas bubble. I just don't want to let it out on let it out yet.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But this one will be fun to talk about. This one could take up all the gas if you want. Papa Hett Hardwired Master Core Signature Electric Guitar String 3-pack. Can you guess who they're by?
Ernie Paul, baby.
Exactly, babes. 50, 38, 20, a plain 18, 14, and 11.
Oh boy.
Papa Hett's new hardwired Master Core signature string sets have been co-developed with James Hetfield over the past decade to meet his demanding performance requirements. Consist of James' preferred 11 to 50 gauge combination with thicker paradigm core wire and plasma-enhanced nickel-plated steel wrap wire. They are ideal for James' aggressive style and technique, offering a heavier sound with extra pitch stability. The plain strings consist of paradigm core wire with brass RPS reinforcement at the ball end for added strength and tuning stability. These limited edition signature sets are housed in durable tin box with custom graphics and artwork designed by James. The tin box is compact, highly collectible, and includes 3 signature string packs inside.
All right.
$35.
First off, you had me at Ernie Ball. you didn't have to Ernie Ball. You don't have to go into the to what it consists of. You had us all at Ernie Bowl and Papa Hett. Oh, I do.
I mean, the legit.
I wouldn't even want to open those.
Yeah, I wouldn't open one of them. I'd open two, but I'd keep at least one of them fresh, or I'd just have to buy a whole nother
I'd have
one
to
and
buy
not.
two.
Yeah, and not open one
because
I'd want to try. If being a guitar, you got to try them.
Speaking of, okay, while we're on Papa Hett, that was one more thing I wanted to talk about. Did you see that stuff that happened to him down in Brazil?
Mm-hmm.
Where he broke down on stage because his insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you're awesome, James.
Yeah,
I know you're 60 now, but buddy,
he's just dealing with a lot.
But
the man's a legend, dude.
like I said, those insecurities and the stage fright that he has now is probably what drove him to drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you got to postpone some tours, do it.
Yeah, whatever you got to do to get better.
You being healthy is more important
than another Metallica tour or another Metallica record or whatever. No.
Shout out to Papa Hett.
Health is more important. But these strings, though.
Yes, baby.
These strings, though. We were just talking about Ernie Ball strings last week. This is awesome. I love me some Papa Hett. I think he's a legend. I think he's one of the greatest rhythm guitar players ever. Greatest guitar players ever. Songwriters of our generation.
Yes.
The man is awesome, and he deserves all the clout and everything he's got.
And whoever says that albums from the Black Album on suck, Hard Road to Self-Destruct was badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
you want to go into that Saint Anger stuff, I will agree with you.
Okay. The thing about the Saint Anger is there are some really heavy tracks.
There are.
Like
it's just
Frantic.
Yeah.
Is badass. The drums need to be.
It's just so it's so crazy that could be the one thing that ruins like the whole thing.
It's no solos and drums. That was the only thing missing.
Drums sound like trash cans in a cave.
But go listen to refresh your memory, go back, listen to Metallica Frantic, and listen to the tuning, the guitars. It is heavy as hell. That song is really, really heavy. But that album gets a bad rap on the drums, yes. But as far as like the riffs, they're all there. It's Metallica. And I know your loads and reloads and your garage ink, say what you will, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Oh, of course. But hey, Papa Hett in the heavy string, this heavy string collection's pretty sweet. So check that out. $35 you get a sweet little tin and some new strings.
Considering my Cobalts are $21, so I'm really not.
Well, especially here, there's guys, if you buy them from other party vendors besides like a big box guitar store, you're paying what they charge.
Yeah.
So we get screwed here in Middle America.
I wonder if they're going to be on Metallica.com too.
Probably. But guys, I got one last thing here, and I was just looking at this because I thought it was awesome. Fender American Ultra Telecaster. Arctic Pearl with Rosewood Fingerboard. And here's the catch. Black binding.
Ooh. See, that's up my alley right there.
Check it out, sweetwater.com. A freaking wonderful looking Telecaster. They've got 4 of them in 7 pounds 12 ounces, 7 pound 8 ounces, 7.5 pounds, 8 pounds 2 ounces. $2,100 basically. Sweet with the black binding.
Yes. Classy.
Very classy.
I think black and white, just little subtle black things on a white guitar is so classy.
It gets a little itchy when you start doing that. Oof. Itchy. But that's it for our gear acquisition syndrome, because normally we have a lot longer one. But this episode, since we are basically going to talk about stuff we're gassy about, it's going to float into our main event. Because we're about to get really dirty here. Really freaking dirty. But before we do that, this show and every Guitar Pirates podcast has a flagship sponsor. and that is the wonderful people over at Mean Beard. Yes, Mean Beard Company, guys, head them up. meanbeardco.com. Yes, it is founded by the wonderful Barry Stock, guitar player of 3 Days Grace, but is being ran by the wonderful Joe Loving at Beardspiration12 on Instagram. Our beard father, the wonderful man who has bestowed upon us this wonderful code, GPP15. Use it as meanbeard.com at checkout to save yourself some dollars for your facial hair forest essentials. Talking about the whip, we're talking about the balms, we're talking about the oils, and the mini folding comb. Guys, the balm and the oil is where it's at. I think Jim and I both can attest to this. Look, I mean, we were rocking these beards, and we have great beard health because of Mean Beard. Backed by science, proven by champions, big, small, one and all, guys. It's not the beard, it's the attitude. Mean Beard Company, guys. Raucous crowd in here as always for episode 59 of the Guitar Pirates podcast. We want to thank all of our sponsors: Mean Beard, Green Beard, and Analog Pedals. Hit up their respective websites. Tell them the Pirates sent you. Get your order going today. God, don't sleep on it. Do it now. Right now.
Yes.
Right now. But guys, we're rolling, crashing, stumbling, bumbling. We're at about the hour mark here. Let's jump into the main event. Not that. That was an accident, guys. A little iPad smash. Excuse me.
iPad smash.
It was, too. I just iPad bumped the old Rodecaster. Sorry, y'all. We're not done yet. Our main event, episode 59, is the 59 Les Paul. Iconic guitar. I mean, what's more iconic than a 59 Les Paul? A 54 Strat? A 52 Telly?
No caster.
Yeah, one of those, depending on if you love the G or F brand.
Yeah.
But probably the most iconic electric guitar is the 59 Les Paul.
Yep.
I mean, it's what everybody wants. It's what everybody goes after. It's what all the top dogs go for. And people go for that 58, 59, 60, that trifecta. But it's the 59 that what people really want. So let's start this discussion off with 5 famous 59 Les Pauls.
And we probably talked about all 5.
Probably. Number 1. And this isn't any sort of deal here. This is just something I found. Billy Gibbons' Pearly Gates. Billy Gibbons' famed Pearly Gates serial number 91171 is more of a mainstay in ZZ Top than ever. The Reverend's trademark beard. It's more of a mainstay in ZZ Top than even the Reverend's trademark beard. Excuse me. Featuring a beautiful flamey top that still exhibits hints of rich red here and there. Pearly is also notable for the use of its over-the-top stringing for the tailpiece. This method involves feeding the strings backwards through the tailpiece, then passing them back over on the way to the bridge, creating a shallower break angle over the saddles. Zakk Wylde, another Les Paul user famous for his pinch harmonics, also swears by this particular method of stringing. I do that on the low string on that Explorer. Jimmy Page's number 2. Jimmy Page's number 2 Les Paul was a beautiful 59 purchased in 73. It wasn't his first 59. His main baby, a 59 with a shaved down neck, was famously acquired from Joe Walsh a few years earlier. Page's number 2 started life as a stock instrument and was acquired as a backup for number 1, but wasn't long before he had modified it with a thinner neck profile, but not as thin as number 1. In the early 80s, it was modified even further with a complicated switching system involving coil splitting, series parallel, and phase reverse options. All achieved via 4 push-pull pots as well as a pair of push buttons tucked away under the pickguard. In that way, Page's number 2 sums up his iconoclastic spirit in a vision that more revealing and quintessentially Jimmy Page way than even his famed number 1.
Which we wanted to, we did a little deep dive on that one.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot there. 3, Collector's Choice number 1. This famous Les Paul, owned by Peter Green and Gary Moore, is one of the most lusted after 59s in existence, not just for its stellar provenance, but also rich for its honey hue with the most outer burst all but gone. It looks like a guitar that's been played and loved, not sealed away in a display case. One aspect of his legendary guitar to be replicated with little elbow grease and accompanying tech is the unique pickup wiring. The neck pickup was removed and either was rewound out of phase or as a magnet was flipped, depending on who you ask, by accident or by design. Nobody seems to know. This has no effect when the pickups are used individually, but when used together, a sweet hollow sound is created by the phase cancellation. Green sold the guitar to Moore in '72 for £100, and Moore sold it at an awful lot more in 2008. Of course, we know that guitar is owned by Kirk Hammett now. That's the Greenie guitar. That guitar is the next one I hope that they do. I really, really hope they do an Epiphone version of that guitar.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope so. Because Gary Moore plays that damn thing.
Right.
I mean, I love Kirk Hammett, dude. He's great. But when you see Gary Moore play that thing, like, still got the blues through all those Marshalls, and it sounds like he has power lines for strings. It literally sounds like he's got telephone lines on his guitar. It's just, whew. It's epic. It's huge.
Badass.
Here's two other ones. Steve Lukather's Rosanna Burst. That's from Toto. And Don Felder's Hotel California Burst. So, Rosanna and Hotel California.
And
those are two big songs, and that's 59 Les Pauls. I wonder where they all... I mean, you couldn't figure out where they all are.
Right.
But all these songs... 59 Les Paul, 59 Les Paul, 59 Les Paul, 59 Les Paul.
Right.
59 Les Paul named after that song.
And the funny thing is
just
how
nuts?
many 70s songs were on a 59 Les Paul, let alone anything from the 59.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like 70s are loaded. I'm surprised they didn't have Joe Perry's.
Here's a bonus one. Nigel Tufnell's Infinite Sustain 59. One of the most mysterious 59 Les Pauls is Nigel Tufnell's beloved Burst, as seen in the tour of his guitar collection of This Is Spinal Tap. This is the guitar that Tufnell claimed would continue sustaining while you zipped out for a snack. Notoriously protective of his guitars, the true story of Tufnell 59 Les Paul is one of rock's great mysteries, along with why some backstage olives have a pimento in them and some don't.
These go up to 11.
These go up to 11, guys.
You have seen Spinal Tap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still got a tagger on it.
It's cool. It's a cool movie. If you guys
Which they're making a number 2, by the way.
Don't sleep on those old movies like Heavy Metal and that movie as well.
Dude, Spinal Tap.
Yeah, like don't sleep on that stuff.
Best.
It's good. Or Crossroads. That's another guitar. There's some good thing we could do. Guitar movies.
Oh, dude, Crossroads.
Probably one of the, if not the best.
Well, the best part is that Ralph Macchio is not playing, but he did extensive work to try to figure out where his fingers go, and he pulled it off.
Did good.
He looks like he's really playing, but he didn't have the actual
Didn't have the dexterity.
the gusto to play.
You gotta have some gusto to do it.
But he, as far as like finger placements, and then Steve Vai is a kick ass in that one.
Oh yeah. But, and I mean, hell, if you want to hear another 59 Les Paul story, head back on our podcast feed, find the Greg Martin stuff. You can hear about Hank the Plank.
And also look into the Joe Perry /
That's another one. Yes, I love it. But let's see here. Pull up a couple more things.
It's like we've all looked at the Epiphone. We've talked about the Epiphone 59 forever.
Mm-hmm.
None of us have pulled the trigger because Les Paul's hasn't been kind to us.
Yes, Epiphone's QC has not been kind to us.
It's like the one I got was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a 59, but as far as like aesthetically pleasing, playability was good, and then it went to a pawn shop, and then it wasn't. 1 month at a pawn shop.
Guys, here's a little bit about a 59. Body consists of a one-piece Honduran mahogany back with Eastern maple top glued together by hide glue. Gibson reportedly used African mahogany during times of low Honduran supply, as well as a few other species of mahogany. African mahogany is actually a totally different species of wood altogether. Due to African mahogany's lighter weight, has become a modern-day substitute. Back in the 50s, the Honduran mahogany that was being sourced was far different than today's and was much lighter due to the quality of the lumber. The body of the 59 Les Paul is also interesting because there are three markings distinct to the guitars of that era, beginning with what has become known as the second route. The second route is found on the control cavity of the body and was done properly to drill holes for the controls. Once the body was constructed, a second jig was used at a separate angle to drill the holes. While this isn't important to the tone of the guitar, it is an historical accuracy not seen anywhere else. The result was often slight, subtle tool marks in the body and a piece of mahogany meeting the maple top. And additionally, marking typically found with 59 Les Pauls was a slight chisel mark made inside the toggle switch cavity in order to fit the toggle switch in. Occasionally, a chisel was used to remove some extra wood internally to make it fit. The body further featured deeper bridge anchor studs that were an inch deep into the body compared to the current depth of 7/8 inches. This is of great importance because the deeper length allows the guitar body to resonate more. The Eastern maple top is different from that the Western cousin because it's actually harder. Produces a different type of flame maple pattern, and because the wood is harder, it helps with vibrational transfer, improving sustain. So you need that hard wood, y'all. Hard wood. Get it?
Yeah.
Ha ha.
And
ha ha.
and send a set of metafines and Tylenol to keep your back in line
Yeah,
from holding that
yeah.
big hunk.
If you're in your 30s, you better be on that acetaminophen regimen. And if not, if you're on your way, boy, you better invest now, because it's coming.
Look me in the eye. Is your lower back hurt? Yes.
You say yes, you're over 30.
Yes.
Scale length on a 59 Les Paul featured what now referred to as the rule of 18, despite claiming a 24 3/4 inch scale length typically was a length of 24 9/16. While this is an incremental difference, it is an historical accuracy not represented outside of the era.
24 9/16.
Just a little bit different, you know.
A skosh.
Just a skosh different. But y'all, you guys need to check this out. SamAsh.com has a 59 Les Paul guitar history. And
That's the tobacco.
yeah, I think so. But it can go deeper and deeper. We could go on and on, but we got more stuff to talk about as far as 59 Les Pauls go, right? Right. Let's jump over to Sweetwater. Y'all, if y'all want to jump over to sweetwater.com with us right now and put in 59 Les Paul, obviously the Epiphones come up for $849.
They're $849 now?
Mm-hmm. They've got a demo for $764. They've got the Murphy Lab 59 Les Paul for $10,700. Do you go vintage or do you just buy a Murphy Lab these days? Hit us up on the socials and let us know what you would do. Or in the comments section down below on the YouTube channel.
When we started looking at 59 Les Pauls, they were like $699.
They were
Yeah,
like,
$7.99.
the base ones were. They were like $7.99. And then the Joe Bonamassa come out, and then all this inflation hit a while back.
Yeah. But, whatever.
Whatever.
It is what it is.
It's all good. But you can get another Murphy Lab for $92.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. You would think for 59 Les Paul.
And I mean, it's as close to as perfection as possible.
Yes. And that's just that. But let's head over to Reverb. Do the filters. Let's see here if we can make it work.
It's like
The 1950s viewing results. See if we can find a 59 in here. A 52 for $28,000. A 57 for $80,000.
bargain.
55 for $42,000. Here we go. Here we go. Looks like the monitor died of battery, but that's okay because I know the camera's not dead. Gibson Les Paul Custom 3 pickup Black Beauty 1959 for $88,603 and $200 shipping.
Oh, we want the black. We've talked about Black Beauty. Oh,
We
my
want
gosh.
the Black Beauty, and it's the triple pickup one too.
Which I would do the triple pickup, but I would never use that. I just want it aesthetically.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just love.
I would, depending on how it's wired, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably have to lower that middle pickup down quite a bit, because you know.
Oh yeah.
For some jamagios.
Especially how you play and how like both of us are very heavy.
Yeah.
Right hand man.
I do have a heavy right hand, but whatever. If you don't have a heavy right hand, then you ain't playing right.
He needs to stop hurting his guitars. Don't forget this, people.
Hey man, that's the best compliment I've ever gotten from a legit blues man too. So yeah, I'll keep hurting my guitars.
The best compliment I ever got is, "You're better than I thought."
Oh man.
man.
Here's one though.
That
This
kills.
isn't a standard, but I love this anyway.
It is
Les Paul
the iconic.
Les Paul TV Special 59 in TV yellow with 2 P90s and a stop tail.
Is that double cut?
Yes. A 59 double cut TV yellow with 2 P90s. Obviously it's been modified. But man,
Just looks. That's gotta be where PRS. I mean, that looks like a PRS.
oh yeah, you can tell. You can tell whenever you look behind on the back of a PRS, that looks just like a Les Paul
It's a
Jr.
Les Paul with double cut. Okay.
Yep.
That makes 100% sense.
It's a Les Paul double cut and a Strat.
I mean, it's thinner and there's a whole bunch aesthetically, like a little bit of shape wise, but whenever you look at it this way, it's like, wow,
Yeah, you can see where it came from. You can see its lineage.
smart. Smart man.
Smart man, but still, $13,495.
It's not
That's
bad.
a 50, and that's a 59 Les Paul. But it's a double cutaway special or junior, whatever you want to call it. Rolling down the line, there's another Black Beauty with a Bigsby for $75,000. They had it at $250,000.
All right, so we got 80 and 75. So we're at $155,000, people.
But dude, you can get original 52 for 30. A 52.
Okay, so we need $215,000 for our Eddie Van Halen guitar's gone. By the way, people.
It's
You didn't give us. We've been talking about it forever.
talking about it forever.
We can get us 2 Black Betties.
Black Beauties.
Black Betty. I always call them Black Betties. But we can get 2 Black Beauties and a 52 original for just a little bit over $200,000. Come on, people. Help us
Come
out.
on, people, help us out. But still, these are some of the. It's crazy. There's a Les Paul 55 Les Paul Jr. Sunburst for under $10,000. Looks like it's been modified with the tuners, and it has a different bridge. But still, it's a 55 Les Paul Jr. That's history. But
What's that red one? Or on the previous page you were just on.
yes.
That red one right there.
I know we're getting off the 59s, but here's a 58 Les Paul Jr. double cut, all original and stunning cherry red. $12,500.
It's hard to find a 59 on Reverb, people.
It is.
You have to go
We
to, like,
found a couple, but this is a great guitar.
It's gorgeous.
50 and the great red color too. Oh man.
Checking looks. I bet you the checking's that can't be the original Gumdrop tuner, so.
It
And
looks like it.
is
They're
it?
white. Let's look here. 1P90 clean tones. I'm trying to read. Neck is not your typical round chunky 58. It fits like a glove. Guitars are very conditioned, played plenty but well maintained. There's light play wear, plenty life left in the frets, and the fretboard is in fine condition. Guitar has no cracks, repairs, oversprays, touch-up, or refins. There's light weather checking and a few bumps and scratches. Please see photos for details. Overall, highly collectible, well-maintained, beautiful vintage instrument. The vibrant cherry red finish is still intact and gorgeous. Changes depending on how the light hits it. It is not faded brownish hue like many of the vintage juniors have. At 7.4 pounds, it's lightweight but a tone monster. Nice full bottom end, chewy mid range. I'm trying to see if it has any. It says all original vintage 58 Les Paul Jr.
Wow. Having those original gumdrop tuners that's a big deal.
And they're the white button ones too that even like to go that like to just fall apart.
So if
I'd be afraid to tune that thing.
Yeah.
But I'd get new tuners and just put those in the box or something.
That's my thoughts exactly.
Because you just go like that and that thing would just go...
I'd feel horrible.
Oh my gosh, I'd die because that's a $500 tuner.
Yeah.
Just to replace the, from something from that era. Oh my gosh. Let's just keep scrolling. We'll see if we can't find another 59. Here's a 58. Gibson Les Paul Special to 58 burst conversion by Jam City. You guys ever heard of these conversion guitars? They basically use a special and they put their own wood on it and convert it to 58 or 59 specs. It's a special or a junior, and basically the guitar luthier will put a flame top on it and build a standard out of it. But it's like a junior.
Oh. So it'll be lighter weight.
To an extent, yes, but I mean, it's basically you take them a junior, they put the top on like a normal Les Paul, route it out, put the pickups in, put the binding in and everything and the inlays, and you've got a standard. Because a junior is a standard without all the frills.
Yeah.
Without the maple top, without the binding, without the inlays, without the keystone occlusion tuners.
Now, how many people are going to put that through as if it's all original too?
I don't.
You know what I mean? Like
if
there'll be somebody out there that's going to try to skeeve somebody. It's like, yeah, the work's done, it's great, but it's not a legit 58.
The only way you could really get close with these conversions, I think, is if you use new old stock parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You use like some old top. The guitar's old as hell, so you use older tuners, you use old vintage pickups, you use old wiring, right?
Yeah.
Get it as close to old spec as you can. At least that's what I would do if I was doing this conversion.
It's almost like
But
that.
I don't know if I'd want to convert an old junior.
Yeah.
They're so awesome. And no, they're not Billy Joe Armstrong guitar, guys.
No.
They're not. He plays them and he does good with them, but they're not.
Boo.
They're not just that.
No.
It's damn Leslie West. It's George James Nichols. It's everybody. Les Paul Juniors are awesome. If you've been on the fence, get one.
It's the one USA guitar you can get through from Gibson that is attainable.
Yeah, there's a couple other ones that you
Just-
can get.
They used to be just south of $1,999, and now it's just north of $1,000. But still, you're not paying $2,200, $2,300, $2,400. I mean, I'm sure there is a one that's going to be up that way.
Here's one that's kind of crazy. Another conversion, a Gibson Melody Maker 59 Les Paul standard conversion. Seymour Duncan Joe Bonamassa Skinner Burst pickups.
That top is gorgeous.
It's a Melody Maker converted to a 5960 Les Paul. Different top. Has the Melody Maker headstock on it.
Wow.
This is crazy.
That Melody Maker, it looks like a acoustic headstock.
Mm-hmm. For sure. But I mean, what's to say about the 59 that we haven't already said on this show? Most iconic guitar, probably one of the most valuable guitars.
And how many are still unaccounted for?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Who owns the most? Who owns the most, Rick Nielsen or Joe Bonamassa? Find out next week on Dirty Laundry.
I mean, it's got to, man.
Right?
Joe's
right.
buying up there. The way Joe's buying stuff.
Yeah,
up right
but
now.
Rick Nielsen, though, you never know. That man's under the radar, too, with his buyings.
And it's like his Explorer collection is out of this world.
It is out of this world.
And he's got a guitar that looks like him. Like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
You can't beat that.
But hey,
Man, that red one though.
here we go. Finally. 59 Les Paul Standard, $425,000 from Emerald City Guitars.
They're legit people.
Has over 1,000 sales. Joined Reverb in 2013.
Wow.
It's one available and in 3 other people's carts right now. Does this sell?
If it gets checked back all original, of
Original
course.
case,
Oh, yeah.
looks like.
If it's 100% and it's not a re-topped,
It's owned by formerly owned Paul McCartney and Etta James guitarist Brian Ray. Clang.
yeah, sold.
Clang. I'm surprised Joe Bonamassa hasn't bought this. He's probably online right now buying it.
He's probably the one in the
He's
car.
probably one of the guys that has it in his car. Well, this is one of the only real deal like 59 standards. We found the couple customs, but here's a 58, actual 58 calls Bird's Eye Burst. Oh Jesus!
Wow.
Actual bird's eye in it. Man. Maiden Kalamazoo, Big Neck 58, faded top burst in good condition.
You know what really
$250,000.
You know what really pisses me off is we always talk about Les Pauls. We've had bad things about them, but it makes me want to go home right now and buy a frickin' Les Paul. This happens every single time.
It happens every time.
I have to have one. I have to have one.
It's Les Pauls are like Strats or they're like Telecasters. When you find the right one, you find it, and you don't let it go.
No.
Like any good guitar, any ML or any guitar that you have, any Strat or Tele, like we said, don't let it go.
Ever.
It's got the vibe. Don't let it go.
And if you're lucky, I got lucky twice. I let that dime go, and then I found the black bolt. But as far as Les Paul goes, like it's like I would want a 59, but as I've said once, I've said a million times, it'd have to be a custom with block inlays. I cannot. There's nothing wrong with the trapezoids. If I had to get one with trapezoid inlays, I would, because I'm not stupid.
Yeah. But
If
you don't like something, you don't need to torture yourself with it.
but it wouldn't bother. It's all about that top, though.
It is. It is.
If you give me a AAA top, because the one that that we've both acquired, and now our buddy has.
Yep.
The top on it was. That
Top on
AAA
it is
flame
nice.
was gorgeous.
Yeah, but it's just like with anything, I think, too, the 59s, those things go up when those tops are crazy like that
Yeah.
in the world of the 59. But, y'all, I think that's pretty much it for episode 59 of your Guitar Pirates podcast. Thank you for enjoying our main event, where we do a little Pirates history version of our 59, beloved 59, Gibson Les Paul. We did a little bit of searching, trying to find some that are on the market. We even looked at Sweetwater. Thought about maybe one of those Murphy Labs. Guys,
It's only 10 grand.
thank you for inviting us into your earlobes and inviting us to your eyeballs for our first ever recorded edition of the Guitar Pirates podcast, live on our YouTube channel, or live to tape on our YouTube channel, and anywhere you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, wherever you can find the Guitar Pirates podcast, wherever you listen, we will be there waiting.
And we're sorry we're not as pretty as we sound.
But y'all, as always, if you learned anything on this show,
It was definitely by accident.
guys, stay safe out there. Until next week, I've been your host, Josh Jones.
Oh, it's Jim Steger.
Hey guys, don't forget about our giveaway. Hit us up, leave a review, 5-star review, DM us that review, a little screenshot, and you're entered to win. Next week we announce the winner. Later.